Episode 62 of the Planet Nintendo podcast. Let's see what's on the menu for today. We have PN picks, what games we picked up, how come our wallets are so empty. Smash has leaked. What does that mean for physical games? Skyward Sword HD, the biggest rumor, coming out on the Switch. And could Pokemon Let's Go, could it have saved the Wii U? Let's get it started. Episode 62, and we are joined by the best co-host on the planet, Bobby, the Nintendo Guru. What's up, man?
What is up, man? How you doing? Right, you came to me. Oh my lord, I'm a little shocked, especially after I just gave you some guff before the show. Guff is a word, and I'm using it right now. I'm shocked he came to me. How you doing, Patrick?
I'm doing fantastic. Joe After Work is the other godly co-host. What's up, man?
Oh my gosh, yo. I'm doing good, man. I'm pumped. I'm ready. I had all the Thanksgiving dinner that I could have had. I turned old in a week, and yeah, I reach Bobby's age next week, so you know, that's 50? It.
Okay. I'm a year older too. We're maturing, guys.
We are maturing. The big 3-0, man.
Oh man!
See, he's a compliment. He's a nice guy. He's a nice
30. Guy. Okay.
Bobby,
think about shaving my beard off.
You know, I hear you look, 29 when you shave the beard off.
Well, not the goat. Goat's got to stay.
Goat's got to keep the goat. Keep the goat. It's no shave November, right?
Yeah. If I shave, I look about 12, so I have to keep it on. But,
you should shave because you are 12.
No, sir. I have to ask you guys, Nintendo had a big Cyber or Black Friday sale, and it was actually really good. I picked up a couple games digitally. We'll talk about some physical games after, but I'll go with Joe first. You pick up anything on that sale?
I have things in my wish list that I am like teetering on pushing the buy on. I'm looking at it right now. Jackbox Party 5. Been really tempted. Nice. Valiant Hearts, just to play that through again. I bought that on PlayStation a couple years back.
Wait, is that on sale?
Yeah, $9.99.
Oh, I'm gonna get it.
Yeah, there are a couple of Movie Arts games that are 50% off. Child of Light Ultimate Edition, which has everything in there. That was a game that I had on my Vita. I got halfway into that game, and then just like everything was happening, so it kind of took a back seat for the Vita. So I think I might buy that one again too. And R-Type Dimensions gets a pre-sale thing, so I'm like, oh, there's so many things. I'm like,
that one's cool. You can toggle like 2D and 3D.
Dude, cool. I'm ready, man. This is gonna be a good December. I'm ready.
It is. Bobby, any digital deals that you were able to
man. I got I got Warframe, so that's the one that was free, so that's whatever. I bought Enter the Gungeon, finally.
Ooh.
Okay.
I bought Wolfenstein 2. Hyper Light Drifter Special Edition.
Nice.
Great
Bastion. And NBA Playgrounds 2 I got as well. Also last week, dude, I got five codes, dude, for review last week.
Wow.
And Bobby gonna be busy.
Two of them are good. Well, the other ones I streamed 2 of them. And those ones are good. Toast Time, Smash Up, Toast Time, Smash Up. Go get that game, dude. That game is really good. It's a lot of fun. And if you have like local multiplayer, it's a blast. Go get that game. Horizon Chase Turbo. I can't really say much about this game yet.
That one's on my radar, man.
Oh my god, dude. That's all I'm gonna say. I'm ready to talk about that game. 99 Vitas.
Just got an email about that one. That one
same here.
I got that one.
Waiting.
Yeah, I got that one.
You like beat 'em ups? It's up your alley.
It's you know what, dude? Double Dragon. It's right there, man. It's right there, right there. So yeah, that's what I got.
That's awesome. Yeah, only 2 digital games. I picked up Bloodstained: Curse of the Moon for like $6.
Good game, man. Good game.
Nice.
And Lego City Undercover for $6 as well, $6 or $7, something like that.
That price, man. It's a good price. It's a good price.
We got rid of the Wii U, so we have to slowly get back the games. Get back some of the games.
Can't believe you got rid of that console. What is wrong with you, man?
Oh my god.
I did pick up quite a bit of physical games though. I picked up probably the best deal that I saw out there was LA Noire for $10.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man.
That's nuts.
That's another one that was sold out quick.
Also picked up, what else did I pick up? Oh, I picked up Super Bomberman R for $20. I had that at launch. Wasn't really into it, but they've added a ton of like new features and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And then Dragon Ball Fighter Z for $30, half off the original price.
I'm ready, son. Let's go.
This dude's got the fight stick. He's gonna kill me. But
I'm ready.
I love that game, man. It's so refreshing to see a fighting game with like a full story, voice acting, like cutscenes.
It's legit,
really good.
Man. Legit.
It's really good.
I will say I did pick something up that wasn't on sale, but is a collectible, and I only found one of these. The alternate cover to Cave Story that got released like a couple months back.
Those. Yeah,
I was like, this thing actually exists. There's a freaking unicorn right now, so added that to my Nicholas collection there.
Yeah. Witch Call got one too, didn't it? What was the other game that got a special edition cover?
Blade Strangers had 3.
The one with the baby.
A Binding of Isaac had
Binding of Isaac. Yeah, you got one.
That's the only. The launch edition is the only one of that game that out of everything that Nicholas has dropped that I'm missing.
Oh, you mean I have something that you don't?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
man.
I have
Money talks, Joseph. Money talks.
I know. I'm waiting. I've been eyeing.
Joe, all you have to do is pick up like 4 Power 8 controllers, trade it to him.
You know, dude, that would be so worth it.
I had them all. I did buy another Power 8 controller from GameStop, the Metroid one, the black Metroid one.
I don't mean to deter. I have a question about the Power 8 controllers. This is the first one that I bought, but I've also heard from Alexa Legacy the same thing happened to her. The joystick on mine is already busted, and I had only tried it twice.
Really?
Yeah, it has a dead spot where I was playing Diablo, and because I can't find a controller at the moment, like this upper left corner, this diagonal right there, doesn't get sensed at all. Have you encountered that with any of your controllers?
Never. And I do use them. I don't use them all. There's a couple that I pull out and I actually use. But the Zelda one, there's a black Zelda one that you can actually change the analog sticks out. They give you additional analog sticks. That one I used a lot for Fortnite and stuff when I was at my mom's house, and I never had any problems with that one. I use that every day too for like a couple months. Me and Rybo would go on and play Fortnite.
Okay. Maybe I give a second one a shot and eat that one.
I was also I was talking to my mom because I was doing some Christmas shopping, and she was telling me that my little 7-year-old brother is getting a Switch for Christmas.
Nice.
So hyped.
Why? Why? Well, so you can give him all your stuff while you're over in we'll talk off the air. We'll talk off the air.
No, I'll say the dirty word. He's gonna give him his game so he can play PlayStation.
No. So I'm hooking him up. So I'm assuming she's gonna get the Mario Kart bundle, which by the way sold out in North America. So I bought this PowerA wired controller, the Mario one. Dude, this thing looks sweet. It was $14.99 on sale Black Friday. Also got him the Crash Bandicoot Trilogy because that's what I played as a kid. Oh
my god.
Bobby slowly just leaving.
Is this the right show, Bobby? Are we on the right?
It is a Switch game.
Podcast?
It is a Switch game. Bobby's like, support your third parties. But I got him Crash, and I'm gonna get him Kirby also because that's like his favorite game that I have. So, super pumped. And
so he's 7. I'll give him a pass.
Kirby's the best there is, the best there was, there ever will be. Exclamation point! Truth.
Thank you, Joe. Thank you.
Whatever, man. Whatever. I can't.
While y'all are talking, I'm gonna buy Child of Light. How about that? You can
so
argue.
Good.
Make me sick to my stomach.
And that sale, Cyber Monday sale ends, I think, the 28th or whatever, the Black Friday sale. there are some really good games on there. There's even first party games like Donkey Kong that's on sale for like.
Oh my god,
yeah.
dude! Yeah, man, they got some really good deals. Seriously.
Yeah.
So
Excuse me.
Go check them out. Also, we have to get into our first topic. I think this might be the one. This is the Bobby blood pressure topic of the week.
The PNP.
Bobby blood pressure topic of the week.
We need like a explosion and a logo for that. But
get the gift that Rybo has, where my head's like coming out of the sky, smashes and blows up in the
green screen challenge to anybody that watches the video version. Just put Bobby yelling at something right behind the screen. Done.
We'll do it. But Smash Bros has leaked. So
wait, is that the one we're doing?
Yeah, we're doing
PNPix.
We just did that.
We didn't even talk about the games.
I didn't even hear the word PNPix.
Okay.
Oh my god, dude!
What games are you playing? What games are you playing?
I just wanted to talk about one. We all pick a game that we talk.
Okay.
What's wrong with you, man? We just talk about games we bought. That wasn't games we played. You're already getting it up, and it hasn't even started yet, man.
What are you playing, Bobby?
NBA Playgrounds 2.
Oh yes, this is important.
Yeah, I gotta say this before we jump, because this does get my blood pressure up. There are certain reviewers out there that get a lot of clicks, and I don't know why. Because this game is really good. Really good. The person in particular, we're not going to name names, three initials, you know who he is, has a year at the end of the title, whatever, you know who he is, that's all we got to say, bashed this game because he was saying that it was a lot of loot crates and stuff. Now, look, there is a thing where you have to play a lot of games and all that, but I started playing, and it wasn't like the game was super hard and difficult to earn money. I was earning money and enjoying my time in it and playing. The first pack I bought for $5,000, I got LeBron James. That's simple.
Yeah.
But you don't even need LeBron. I like the way they did this game. In the last game, you would pick 2 players, right? You would go through a tournament mode. You would pick 2 players, totally different teams. That's not the way it is this time. You pick one team that has 2 players on it, and you start riding through. So I took the Chicago Bulls because it was the only team that actually, when I went through all my decks of cards to start the game, I got 2 Bulls players. So I started playing with them. Went through season 1, beat it, unlocked Horace Grant. So now I'm like, okay, we're gonna go through the next round, and I upped the difficulty, because the first one I just did like easy, but even with the next level difficulty, it's like, okay, you're starting to get the feel of it. The 3-point contest, so much fun, dude. It's a blast. I like the courts, because the courts are kind of what they were last time. It's more like playground type stuff, but they're modeled after the actual stadiums, like where they have the runners around where the lights are flashing and shows like the team like logos and all the team like catchphrases and stuff, like the Bulls says "See Red" on the side. I like it. But the thing of it is this. We got reviewers out there that are bashing games for no reason at all. If you're reviewing a game, don't focus on the negatives. Seriously. Talk about what you liked about the game. Because here's the thing. I personally think you didn't play the game. If that's all you're focusing on is the negatives, you didn't even get into the game. You saw that and literally tore that game apart. Because that's his whole review. What he's talking about is bashing this game based on that. He didn't talk about the gameplay, how fun it was. He was saying it was difficult. This is the second time that I've watched a review that he said that a game was difficult. And get good, bro. Get good. Seriously.
Wait, Bobby, so when you turn on the game, everything's not unlocked? That's an outrage. That is an outrage.
I mean, in the first game, it wasn't unlocked. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But to me, that's the fun of playing it. Is unlocking this stuff. And here's the thing. Let's say you do want it all unlocked, right? $20. Not even $20. It's $10. It unlocks everything. Like all the players. But I'm like, why do that? Like, I'm having a good time playing normally and unlocking players. Like, it's fun, dude. And not only that, like, you can build your own team where you can actually grab players from different teams and throw them together. Ah, dude, it's a blast, man. It's a blast. I got it on sale on part of the Black Friday deal. Paid $20 for it. I'm like, this game is great, dude. I'm having a blast with it. So if you get a chance, if you're listening to this, if me and Pat get this out in a timely manner, go get the game. Seriously. Yeah. If you liked the first one and you didn't get the second one because you listened to these idiots that gave it poor reviews, go get it. Because it's a far better game. Seriously. The shot meter, much better. Like, it's so much better. It's so much easier to hit. Dude, I would play the first one legit. Play and miss shot after shot after shot after shot. Like, I would go on like 6-7 shots in a row, never hitting one. This one, I feel amazing. I'm banging shots all over the place. It's really, really good. Go get it.
I'm really excited to see like where this franchise is going, because it's like you can see definitely. Like, I noticed in some reviews that I saw, like there's more polish. Like, it's getting really, really good. Same thing with RBI baseball to a point. I mean, that's not there yet.
They got to step it up a little bit more. They'll get there eventually if they keep going. But this game, the jump from season 1 to season 2, unbelievable, man. Unbelievable.
It's awesome. Joe, what about you, man? What have you been playing?
So Bobby, you're telling us that people who review games should at least finish the game? Or spend close to enough time to
That's the other guy. The other
Joe,
guy.
don't get me started.
The other guy that's talking about the game that you like does a review and what did you play, 5 hours?
Something like
Come on, bro. Come on. This is nonsense. Like, seriously. These are the same guys that gave Philip Mewson stuff. Like, you guys aren't even finishing games and you're giving this guy, you might as well just go rip off people.
I love you, Bobby.
It's serious, Joe. I'm serious.
I know you are. I'm here, on, man. I'm here to.
This is Philip's
really,
posse.
I know.
Philip's posse is bashing people. They got the balls to bash.
It's real hard to edit.
No editing.
Why?
No editing.
I don't want to get Bobby in trouble.
By who?
I don't
By
know.
them?
He's like, they can come to Jersey. Come to Jersey.
Come to Jersey, bro. Come to Jersey, bro.
Nah, it's really just discouraging because like me and Bobby were talking, like we all were talking off air.
Yeah.
And it's just like they're like the faces of like the Nintendo scene right now. It's just really just discouraging, man.
Well, it's discouraging because like when the three of us, I don't do reviews a whole hell of a lot. All right. Yep. Joe does a lot. Pat does a lot. And we put the time in. When we do a review, we put the time in to play it to completion, or at least 90% of it. You know, you get to that. You get to that point. If the game's really repetitive, and you kind of know, okay, this is the way it's going. But like, you try your best to get as much as you can, especially with us, because we're getting games like a day before they launch. You know what I mean? Like, we got to try to put a review together a day before they launch. You know, it's tough. I got review copies the day of launch, and I'm like, really? You want me to review this game now? Like, it's out now. Like, what? Come on. So we do the work. We bust our butts, and then these slap asses come along, and they just like don't even put the time in. But yet everybody loves them. They're the greatest. Why? Because you know why? Because they bash everything. So it's they get the real easy clicks. It's like, come on, man. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Go ahead. I'm done.
Joe, what
I'm just trying to keep you out of trouble, Bobby. That's all. Hold him back. Hold him back. Oh my goodness. In trouble. Yeah. Nah. I'm sure you're fine. Man. Yeah. No. I don't. For the record, I don't do reviews. That's I try not to.
First impression.
Yeah. You know. But I try my best to, when I get an early copy, I try to at least play, beat the game, or get as close as possible to beating it before I start talking about it, for sure. So I share that sentiment 100%. Game that I've been playing, other than Pokemon, which, by the way, for the record, 150. I'm one away. Hitmonlee. If anyone has a Hitmonlee, please.
I could trade them to you.
Oh, Bobby.
It's not going to happen until you admit that Kirby's garbage.
Kirby is absolute trash. I want that damn Hitmonlee. It is that easy. It is that easy. Bro, I'm right there. Wow. Nah, I'm kidding. No, I don't.
No, no,
I want
no,
your
guys,
trash
it's
it, Malik. Come on now.
No.
Listen,
no.
Kirby is the best there is.
No, you
Kirby's
already
the
said it.
best
It's
there
too
was.
late.
And Kirby
Too
will
late.
always be
Wow.
the best there ever will
So, guys,
be.
if you are a content creator or a streamer and you are interested in talking about games, we do have a slot open. And
2?
Yeah, but the way this is going, you have 2. You have you and him.
Oh man.
It's just
Yeah.
gonna be
It's
me
just
here
gonna
by
do,
myself.
just gonna be chilling with Pat for an hour.
Chilling with Pat.
Planet
Coffee
Pat.
time. Planet Pat. Yes, please. I'll have that. What should we call it? Warframe. We were talking about it before. It's a free game, and speaking of games that do have microtransactions, they have different packs that you can buy, like upwards of like 80. That you can get weapons and skins and unlock your different color schemes to make your Warframe character look really awesome. You don't have to buy that. I have not spent a single dime so far, and I am having an absolute blast. It's like, to me, third-person Destiny is probably the best way that I can describe this game. You go out there, you go on missions. There is a story to it, although I am like completely lost as to what the story is at this point of the game that I'm in. I just landed on Venus, so I'm doing missions on Venus, and there's just like certain things where I'm getting waves of enemies hitting to me, and I was playing it with Deuterino a couple days ago, and we were just going crazy with like flying around, like being ninjas. I'm like this character to throw like electricity and whatnot. As far as the story, just to kind of bring that back, you wake up and there's a dude that's a real big baddie, and he's somehow in your mind and trying to get you to do things, and he's trying to control your body, but you kind of destroy him like throughout learning the tutorial of the game. So I don't know if he comes back. They bring that back, and then after that I've done some missions on Earth. I found like a whole hub world out there that's like really huge. The game runs really smooth, and I've only had like a couple of hiccups in terms of like the frames dropping. I have noticed though, I think they compensated getting this on the Switch by, and this was ported over by Panic Button. I think they compensated by less enemies in this game. Although the waves do get crazy, I feel like when you drop down into a mission and start an area, it feels very empty. I don't know if that's intentional compared to the PC and PS4 version of that game, but it definitely feels a little bit empty. But once you get into like the main crux of like your mission, that's when the enemies really start coming out. So I don't know if it's just like they isolate all your enemies to one area, or if it's just the way they had to port it over to the Switch. As far as like missions go, the real unique part of this is you can explore around and get some materials and whatnot to craft your items, like craft your weapons and stuff like that. But you can also, it feels like at the pace your characters go, you can like build this game on speed running. And like, how fast can you finish this mission? Because there's like, when you jump in with other people, it's just like, it's like a race to the finish. Like, who can get to the mission, beat it, and then run back. Like, it gets real intense. So it's more like,
is there like deathmatch, or like is there a multiplayer? Like,
there are PvPs, but you can also, like, the main story portion, the main campaign, I guess you can say, revolves around our solar system. So like, you see all these different planets around the solar system that you're in, but you can also do like PvP and PvE with one versus all and all that other stuff as well, if the story is not for you.
Oh, okay. That's pretty cool. I hate this time of the year, man, because you pick up so many games and then you can't finish anything. Like, I was starting Hyrule Warriors, I was starting Sushi Striker, Moonlighter, and they're all just kind of like bundled into one. But I've been playing a lot of Dragon Ball Z, Fighter Z, and Pokemon. That's pretty much it.
Pokemon.
And then Smash comes out soon, and then Katamari Damacy.
Dude, that's like next week, right?
Yeah, it's. I think it's like the same day, dude. It's
why?
Like the same day.
Why?
Then the Mega Drive collection comes out. Fantastic. And then next month is actually it's a game called Battle Princess Madeline. And it's kind of like Ghouls and Ghosts. It's like a new Ghouls and Ghosts, but it's like the game developer was making the game, and then his daughter pretty much was saying like, you know, how come there's no like girls in the game or whatever? So he literally was like, nope, and he put her in the game as the main character. So that's dope.
I'm a little skeptical about the animations in that game.
Yeah,
kind of like how Bloodstained, that the one that Inti Creates did, that like mini game. Well, not really mini game. It's a pretty it's a pretty sizable game. It was straight up Castlevania 3, down to like the animations is what I'm concerned about this, and like I hope Capcom doesn't like come after them for certain things, like down to the movement of like how the character is chucking the knives is Arthur. Like it's scary how close that, like, it makes me wonder if like, hey, did they just pull like Trace over and then like run along? Like I'm excited to play this game, but I am concerned from like, I know you can't put like patents or trademarks on animations, but I'm sure at some point something's got to be like, okay, this looks a little bit too close to our thing.
With gaming, it don't matter. That was a whole lawsuit back in the day when they had Street Fighter 2 versus that other game by, I think it was by Bandai Namco or something like that. It's like you can get away with games, dude. Look at go on what you call Instagram, and there's these Pokemon Go games, and you go in them, and they're total ripoffs.
Yeah, what was that one last year that came out? That was Pokemon in the game. They just renamed the characters and changed the name of the game.
Yeah,
it got taken off the Apple App Store.
Yeah, because Nintendo was finally. Yeah. But how many copies did it sell before that?
Yeah,
you know it sold copies.
Oh yeah.
So
yeah, that's what I'm excited about. But we just mentioned Smash, and Smash is leaked all over the internet. Someone pretty much uploaded the ROM, and then if you have your Switch hacked, you can actually play it on your Switch right now. There's actually there's someone in my Discord that he's running it on his Switch. He has a hacked Switch. He's not going to do any spoilers, but I just wanted to bring this up. It's obviously a big story, and wanted to ask you guys, like, what does this mean for? I mean, I don't think this was a review copy. It seems like it was.
The review copies aren't out yet.
Yeah. And the future of physical games, because we're slowly getting to that as it is. So, Bobby, I'll start with you.
I discussed it a little while ago, obviously, on my Nintendo Guru Daily video that I did. I think it's a slap in the face to Sakurai. I think it's a slap in the face to the team that worked hard on it. Don't give me this nonsense that you're going to buy copies, because that's what they're saying right now. Like, oh, we plan on buying the copy stuff. F you, man. F you. You basically took them and you slapped them in the mouth, because here they are busting their butts to do this. We live in a time, two things. Every single Smash fan right now has been complaining, and not complaining, but basically always saying like how hard Sakurai works and how hard he busts his butt and doesn't get sleep and doesn't get rest, and he's beat up and he's tired. And you just basically took his work and ripped it out of his hands and started playing it early without paying him. That's ridiculous. That is uncalled for, and it is disrespectful. Secondly, all the fans that sat there and cried about, because look, if this was one guy, whatever. This is a lot of people that done this.
Yeah,
a lot of people. They're posting on YouTube. They're streaming on Twitch. They're basically getting their YouTube channels yanked down now, and then they're actually trying to make excuses for it. There's no excuse for stealing. Because I guarantee you, the jackoffs that are here were the same ones that were talking about Philip Mewson stealing. There is no difference. Zero difference in what you're doing at all. If you have a hacked version of this game, be mad, downvote the video, yell at me. I don't care what you're saying. You're a thief and you stole. It's that simple. There's no two ways about it. There is no gray area here. You took something illegally off the internet, put it in your console, and you're playing it now. That's sorry, be mad, but the fact of the matter remains, you are the problem. with this world. You are the problem with the internet. You are the problem with everything that this guy busted his butt to create. You slapped him in the face, in my opinion. That's just me.
Yeah. Yeah, like, I mean, if someone got, like, there was this thing with Super Mario Party. Someone got an early copy. They put it on the internet, whatever. It sold.
Jesus.
Or I think it sold. I don't know.
Yeah.
Wasn't it like $5,000 or something?
Something ridiculous like that, yeah.
1,200 or 1,300. It was up there, man. It was a lot of.
Even that's really bad. But the fact that, like, this is like a, you know, there is of course, a hacking community, and they're all playing this game now. It's just really unfortunate. I want to go to Joe though. Is there any way Nintendo could just like put like a update and just like brick all these switches, or like?
I'm surprised well, here's the thing with the hacking community is like, okay, you put out the update, and usually like within like minutes someone's like, or like common sense will say, don't update your Switch if you have it hacked or modded to some extent, because odds are your thing is gonna get bricked hard body. Can they force an update? I don't think we're at that point yet where like they can just straight up like force it on you to make your Switch go bricked. I don't know if there's I don't know if such a thing exists, or if that's legal to do, because you know they then you go into like, hey, I bought this, but you know there's also rights to certain things that you sign up for or whatnot when you get this Switch. So
Yeah.
I don't think yes, sorry, to answer your question, yeah, there is definitely an update that they'll do. Whether or not they get it out in time for release is another question. I'm sure there's a day one patch, so I'm sure that's not in there. It's a real crappy thing. It's like, this is one of those things where it's like, with the hacking community, it comes in ways like there's some cool things you could do in there, and then there's this where it's like, I can't support that. Like, dude, I really do hope people that have gotten it are going to buy the game. Like, I hope. You know, I'm sorry for the dog screaming in the background. He's crying right now.
Oh, that's your dog. I was gonna say, I thought that was Sakurai strangling somebody in the background.
that's Sakurai crying in the background right now.
Yeah,
it just sounds like a dog. I share your pain, Lucky. But yeah, it just overall, Guru said it the best. It sucks, and it shouldn't be done. At the end of the day, does it get done? Yeah. Is it gonna hurt sales entirely? I don't think so. Only because, like, there are a lot of people that are hyped for this game. And there are a lot of people... When I saw on Twitter that this thing got hacked, and it's out there, I saw more people like, damn, I feel bad for Sakurai.
I'm done with this dog.
Yo,
Just stop talking, Joe. Just stop talking. Mute your mic. Go take care of that dog, man.
Yo.
Bad.
No, he's just spoiled. He thinks there's someone at the door that's for him, and it's not.
Go spoil him. Go spoil him. Could have muted the mic first.
It's like, now let's hear him scold him.
What are you thinking, Pat?
I just the main part is, correct me if I'm wrong, but isn't the reason why they didn't put a story mode in the last game because of this exact reason? That the story mode was leaked?
No, I don't think that. I mean, it might be. I don't. To my recollection, I don't.
Yeah.
But I also remember like them being very hesitant with like giving it out to people, and like having people like basically telling them like, you can't stream it until this date. You got to back off. You can't. You know what I mean? Like, they were real strict with this game.
This is Pokemon Let's Go. Like, we just had this situation 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The people got it like a week before. Like, that Monday, people were playing the game. That Friday was dropping. Like, that's insane.
Yeah.
I mean, I get the appeal of, you know, having something before everyone else, and, you know, exploring ways to like manipulate your Switch and stuff. Like, this is nothing new. I mean, just ask the PSP. But like, it's just like I have no interest in finding out what happens, what secret things are in there, because like, I feel like people are just blowing through games way too quickly as it is. And Smash, for me, especially this one, because you start off with like the base characters and you have to unlock everything. Just like Pokemon, I'm gonna take my time with it. Yeah. It's just like,
well, the thing for me is like, so if I got this early, whatever. I mean, it's obviously stolen. Somebody stole it. But okay, if I got it legally my own way, right? Man, why would you ruin it for people? Just shut up.
Yeah.
Go play the game and just enjoy it by yourself. And then, you know, when it launches at midnight, maybe fire it up at 11 o'clock. You know what I mean? If you're a streamer or whatever. But to purposely go out, because here's the thing. This is why I say it's stolen. Because what normal person that gets this game legally, just a dumb luck, knows how to hack it and ROM it and rip it and all that stuff. So it's
convenient.
But isn't that a thing apparently? Because hasn't that happened in the past where somehow a review copy was dumped and people were getting copies of that game?
I don't know.
Like, I'm not talking Switch specifically, but like in the past, of, like just any games.
I mean, let me put it to you this way. To my knowledge, this game has not gone out for review yet. Nobody Roger doesn't have it. Game Explain don't have it because they would be talking about it if they had it. So it's not out yet. If this was a game that got out and it was a review copy, forget review copies. They're done. Nintendo will never give another review copy out again. Like this might not
be a bad thing.
This is the thing that Bethesda basically said, we're not giving review copies out. We're done with that. And it's like I can kind of see it now. It's starting to become an issue. But at the end of the day, you got to look at this and go like, where did this come from? Where did this happen? But there is zero excuse to go upload this and go do stuff. Like Distify, whatever. He's a music channel. He basically plays 24-hour streams of music. This guy started a Patreon off of the people coming to his channel and said, like, hey man, if I get so much money, I'm going to buy a computer that's powerful enough that I can stream 24 hours a day. He got the money donated to him. Was able to do that. Right? Now we're talking 6 months, 7 months later, you've lost your channel because he got 21 copyright strikes against him. Well, not him, another guy. Another guy got 21 copyright strikes and counting. Like there was more coming through by the minute as he was typing the tweet. But Distify said the same thing. Distify's excuse was, well, there's always this thing that you're trying to be the first. It's music, man. It's music. Yeah. You're really that hepped up to be the first one to put out music? People are a joke, man.
I mean, I wouldn't mind a direct and some kind of like treehouse where it shows off gameplay and there's kind of like review elements from Nintendo being put out for their first party games. I don't mind. I mean, you're still going to get third party and indie, review.
It's their information to give.
Yeah.
I will say I am curious how this plays out next year, because think of the repercussions of how this affects, like you guys are saying, like just continue it, like how it affects the entire system. We're talking about like not just influencers getting review copies. We're talking about journalists getting review copies for this game. Does that mean that everyone's going to get it same day release going forward for certain big title games? I'm not saying for everything, but like, Metroid, whenever the next iteration of Mario Odyssey comes out, the next Legend of Zelda, like when those titles hit the heavy hitters, Animal Crossings, maybe they don't give anybody anything until the day of, or just not at all. Maybe they stop for a little bit, and keep it to the people that they have whitelisted that are like still ambassadors,
Yeah, I wouldn't mind that, especially for the first party ones. Mm-hmm. Joe mentioned Zelda. I heard Zelda. That's gonna be our next topic. Skyward Sword HD. A lot of people were talking about this, in predictions and stuff like that, games that could come over. But now it seems like it could become a reality. Anuma has kind of hinted towards this, or pretty much flat out said it. Like, you guys want this, right? Skyward Sword HD. I wanted to bring this up to you guys and get your opinions on this game, because this game came out in 2011, the original game. right at the end of the Wii, and a lot of people at this time were over the motion control. They were over the Wii. Wii U came out the next year, so this is still a pretty new game because we are still getting Wii U remakes and ports and stuff like that. Joe, I will go with you. Does this excite you at all?
I'll play a Legend of Zelda game. I'll give any Zelda game a shot. This is one my Wii history is not that not really existent. I sold my Wii pretty early on to make rent once upon a time, so I missed out on a lot of games on the Wii. Skyward Sword being one of them, and hey, if they fix up the controls to work with the Joy-Cons and fix the Joy-Cons to work with motion controls, because I am not having the mess that was The World Ends With You all over again, or else I'm drop it like a bad habit. I'll mess with it, of course. I'll give it a shot for sure.
Okay. Bobby, Skyward Sword.
I didn't get it on the Wii just because it was at the end of the life cycle, and I was basically moving on to. I was actually moving into different consoles and stuff like that, and preparing for the Wii U. It came to the Wii U, and I bought it for $20, and wasn't a fan of the motion controls. Why? The main reason why I wasn't a fan of the motion controls is because you would have to occasionally resync, because it would pop out of sync for whatever reason. Also, like, it was real, like, you had to the Wiimote was not fluid for precise motion, and you would have to do precise swings and stuff with it. So I just wasn't a fan. I think, and I said this earlier tonight, I think that the story is hands down one of the best stories ever in the Zelda franchise. It is phenomenal. The other thing about this game is what that blew me away is there are no cuts to it, if I'm not mistaken, if memory serves me correct, or maybe there is. Like when you go into buildings and stuff, it doesn't cut out, does it? Or is that I think of Breath of the Wild? I think I'm thinking of Breath of the Wild. But what I don't like about this game, which is a big thing, is Fee. Cannot stand her. I just want to punch her in the face every time. Like, you want to go one way. No. I don't think you want to go this way yet. You should probably go. And I'm like,
worse than Navi?
Don't tell me where I want to go, man. Like, let me go. And honestly, Skyward Sword is the reason why we got Breath of the Wild. Skyward Sword, because of a lot of that hand holdiness of it, is why they went the total opposite direction with Breath of the Wild.
I just can't believe someone's worse than Navi.
It's bad.
Really?
Yeah, bad.
It's that bad.
Man. Literally, Joe, I was in a dungeon. I wanted to go to the left. She would jump out of my back, like jump out of the sword attached to my back, land in front of me, and tell me not to go that way.
Yeah.
That's legit.
Awesome.
That's legit happens.
So I am a member of the Wii Collectors Anonymous. I still get Wii games. I have Skyward Sword, and it's a pretty good Zelda game. Not my favorite, but for me the issue more lies of the motion controls, like we were saying before, because the Wiimote Plus is better than the Joy-Con in terms of the motion. And like Bobby was saying, ton of precise like motion elements with this, swinging the sword, swimming, which is a disaster in the game. I don't know, man. Because of Breath of the Wild, linear Zeldas to me just don't have the same appeal. Like being able to see a mountain in the distance in Breath of the Wild and being like, all right, I'll go towards that and climb it. Whereas like other games, you can't do that.
Yeah.
So I'm excited to replay. I'm excited for people to experience the story, because this one definitely, I'm pretty sure it only sold like 3 or 4 million copies.
Yeah,
maybe.
It was low.
So as much as I am excited for it, I don't know. It's a good looking game already.
I'm torn. It's like I get excited. I'm just like, but storyline is phenomenal, man. It really is.
I was gonna say I can sacrifice linearity for story if the story is like, it's really good. I mean, this is supposed to be the origin of everything, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really good. I hope they put in pro controller support.
Oh, if they do that, man, I will all over the place, man.
There's been way too many games that don't support it, and you can use the analogs to emulate the swings. And people that have made HD versions have mapped the controls to buttons, so it's just a matter of Nintendo doing it.
I would like that. I would also, if they do make us do Joy-Cons, man, please give me them gold Joy-Cons.
Oh my god!
Oh,
I
imagine?
will, man. I will. Oh god!
Bobby
Just give me, because you screwed me in Breath of the Wild. You screwed me in Breath of the Wild.
Yep.
You didn't give me nothing special.
They gave you skins.
Please. Get out of my face with that garbage. I want, man, if you give me either black with gold trim all over the place or just gold with black, like, oh, God.
They give you that trim, Bobby?
Man, I'll be all over that trim.
Those Joy-Cons, man. I mean, those Wiimotes, that's a thing of beauty, man.
Yeah.
And they even, I think, came out with like a Pro controller, the Wii Pro controller. It was gold.
Mm-hmm.
That could have been something else. It could have been GoldenEye. I don't know.
That was for GoldenEye, but still.
Yeah. But I'm excited. Definitely a lot of people would be experiencing for the first time. A lot of people saying that this is their favorite Zelda game now, all of a sudden. Like,
I know. Jams, get out of here with that garbage, man.
That is interesting. Sorry.
No, go ahead.
I was going to say, it is interesting, though, how a lot of these games that got re-reviewed from Wii U to Switch went from like 5s to like 8s.
Yeah.
The other thing too was, which I saw Miss Click post or retweet it, and basically what went down was in 2017 at GDC, Nintendo also showed off, because they were talking about the development of Breath of the Wild, and they were like, well, to kind of get there, what we did was we turned Skyward Sword into an HD game. Not the entire thing, just certain sections of it. There's actual pictures that they were showing. Now, I don't know whether it was video footage playing behind them on the screen or if that was just stills, but people actually have screen grabs of a Nintendo rep at the GDC podium explaining, and you see the Breath of the Wild pictures. Or not Breath of the Wild, Skyward Sword pictures, gorgeous. Looks unbelievable, man. Like, it would get me excited, seriously.
This is kind of like a Wind Waker case anyway. Like, the game looks great. It's just a matter of like fixing, like in Wind Waker, they kind of made sailing faster, like just like quality of life improvements.
Yeah.
Imagine if they released those 3 games in a pack, though. Twilight, Wind Waker.
Don't do it. Don't do it.
You get your full price there, because I would pay $20 a game for that, even though I don't like Twilight Princess.
What are you saying? Don't do it. What are you saying? Don't do it.
Don't do it. Don't do it.
You're nuts.
You don't want a triple pack?
Already. You guys are gonna kill me. You guys are gonna kill me.
Give me for $120.
Whoa.
Give me Breath of the Wild. Give me all 4 of them in one thing. Steelbook. You open it up. You know what? This would be cool. Steelbook, all 3 games, and when you open them up, they're set up like the Triforce in the case.
Hey.
And just to confirm, it seems like they are stills. I'm watching the GDC conference right now.
Okay.
They were talking about Breath of the Wild.
Okay.
Yeah.
And very early Breath of the Wild footage kind of looked like Skyward Sword. The style of it changed a lot.
Yeah.
So very exciting stuff there. And then Joe has a viewer question. If you guys want to ask us viewer questions, we all have Discords. We all have Twitter. You can ask that. Our handles are above our names. But Joe, we got a viewer question.
Yo, so this one goes from Snake Eyes, and this came up in a stream of mine when we were literally all of us were playing Pokemon Let's Go, trying to scroll up because I don't see it here. Where is it? The question. Here we go. So this comes from Snake Eyes. Shout out to Snake Eyes. Do you think if Pokemon Let's Go had come out the same time as Pokemon Go and was a Wii U title, would it have saved the Wii U?
This is an easy one. Nothing could have saved that horrid console. I love the games, but the console was just...
Whoa, bro.
Whoa. In terms of the actual console, okay? It was a mess.
Stop, dude. Some of the best games ever.
Yeah, some of the best games.
It was a phenomenal thing for games. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay. So when Pokemon Go first came out, I don't necessarily think that a game that was released with it would have sold or had the same kind of takeoff as the app. I think it was just so popular because it was free, it was nostalgic, and everyone was doing it. If you were walking in a city or in a public place, there were groups of people. I remember like week 1 and 2, and it was just like there was like 50 people on the street like spinning a stop, and it was just like it was nuts.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't necessarily know if like a game that went along with it would have been great. Maybe like a year into it because Pokemon Go was still big. Maybe like a few months into it, but I don't know, man. Just I think the appeal was it was free, it was new, and I don't know how the Wii U would have worked with it. I don't know. It would have been cool to swipe on the gamepad, but
the only thing that saves the Wii U is if in year 1, rather than New Super Mario Brothers U, they make Mario Maker, and in year 1 they also put out Splatoon. That's the only thing that saves the Wii U, because in year 1, the biggest thing that you heard all around was, why am I using this tablet? What's the killer app for this tablet? So if you put out Mario Maker, you put out Splatoon in year 1, it shuts everybody up and everybody goes, oh, I got to own this thing. Nothing else does it, because it wasn't until year 3, because what was happening was people were going like, this thing is overpriced. Why am I paying all this money just for this tablet? Get the tablet out. Give me a Pro Controller. Well, if you put out a couple of games that make people realize, like, this is why I need a tablet, that all goes away and Nintendo can move forward. It was so bad that the reason why we got Star Fox Zero was because Iwata went to Miyamoto and said, create the killer app, create the game that people have to have. They started trying to shoehorn the tablet into us. Pokemon Let's Go is not the game that would have saved the Wii U. Never. I understand what you're saying, and I totally get what you're saying. And it's a good philosophy. It's a good thought pattern. Hey, here's a phenomenon. Could this have pushed the units? I don't think it would have, because you had Pokemon Go that was free, and people that are buying Let's Go now aren't buying it because of Go. Some people in Go are buying it because of the fact of, hey, I can get special Pokemon from this game easier to go through these missions. Because those Meltan missions are, God, they're insanity.
Oh my God, I'm going crazy already.
Yeah, so the thing is like, if you can get Meltan to get them in the game, in like, you can, whatever, it is what it is. But the thing is that there's other ways to do it. And I think that this doesn't help. You know, it's a great, honestly, I want to say this. Great question.
Yeah.
It's a great thought pattern. I just don't, me personally, don't think that there's anything really that could have saved the Wii. Sadly. Because unlike Pat, I love the Wii U. I think the Wii U honestly, it's a great console. I loved it. I put a lot of time into that console. Played a lot of great games on that console. I loved it and adored it. I'm not a hater like Pat.
You didn't sell it.
Yeah, I didn't sell my Wii U. Still own my Wii U.
Honestly, the Wii U is the reason why I'm doing Nintendo stuff. It honestly brought me back in. I was done with gaming for a while. Started playing the Wii U. The thing with Nintendo is, and we can all admit this, they do not want us to own a Wii U anymore. They are doing everything they can besides Mario Maker to make us not own a Wii U anymore. Doesn't make sense.
Patrick, there's going to come a day.
Bobby, when's the last time you played your Wii U?
Well, listen, I haven't because I don't have to. But I have a Wii U with like 180 games on it. So I can easily go hook it up anytime I want to. There's nothing right now that makes me want to go back and play it. But that said, there will be someday, there will be a day that I'm going to go, man, you know what? I'm going to fire this thing back and play some games.
Yeah.
But here's the thing, because I have a bunch of virtual console games too over there. But here's the thing, Pat. There's going to come a day, right? You're going to have this day like I had this. My day is the Virtual Boy, where I regret not buying it and not getting it. You're going to regret not having a Wii U, and you will never be able to find one because they're going to be so hard to get.
Okay.
I'm telling you effed up. Go get one now. Get it
hey, there was a sale. No,
They're really cheap. Yeah, they're really cheap.
Yeah.
Another thing, just to add into this question, I'll give it to you, Joe, to do the final thoughts.
Yeah.
This was Pokemon Go also came out in 2016. 2016. 4 years into the Wii U's lifespan. And at that point, it was pretty much a done deal where we're moving on. So I don't know if it almost hurts the Pokemon Go brand to make it a game and put it on this console that no one has. Okay. Joe?
Yeah, no, I mean, I pretty much agree. Pretty much agree with everything you guys said. You guys put it pretty good. The only thing I would add to that is comparing it to how Microsoft is doing right now. They are turning this ship as much as they can, and the audience does not seem to be paying attention. Like Pat was just saying, year 4, Pokemon Go. And if that were to come out, hey, it might have turned a few heads. Or look at how negative that response was when the game was initially announced. It was like, this is the first Pokemon console game, and this is what you're gonna come up with. No, I'm not buying a Wii U. Like, I feel like there was just way too much negativity around the Wii U at that point for people to even want to consider buying it. And granted, people bought their Marios, people bought the Zelda remakes, people bought Smash. Like, people would have probably bought Pokemon, but I don't think it would have helped turn that tide. Like, at some point, you have to admit defeat and just move on to the next thing, and that's what they did. They took their ball and chain, went home, learned from their losses, and came back stronger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's kind of the same thing when they came out with the Go Plus thing. I think they thought that was going to take off really big, which it did to a point because it was sold out for a while. But it's just like, I don't know. Pokemon Go on its own is a juggernaut, but you start adding in more things to it, and it just makes it complicated.
If they would have had those Pokemon Pluses at launch and had enough for everybody, they would have sold like juggernauts.
Yeah.
They didn't have them at launch. They came 6 months after, and then you couldn't get them. Couldn't find them. They were Amiibo 2.0. And then the problem was once the initial group got them and they realized they're really not that good, what's the point? Nobody wanted them after
exactly.
That. So they screwed themselves on that one.
That's where artificial scarcity kind of because that had to have been
oh yeah.
Like, there's a difference between being scared that you're not going to sell enough and hey, these are going to be gangbusters. Let's kind of limit this to kind of do what they did with NES Classic,
Yeah. I remember they were going for about $400 at one point.
Jesus Christ.
The other thing too, real quick, I want to say before we wrap up, the one thing I want to say is this. The other issue here is, like you said, this game came out in 2016. Before Nintendo went mobile and got into the mobile game, they made the announcement. Iwata made the announcement about the NX. That put the Wii U DOA. The minute he announced the NX, everybody forgot about. Everybody forgot about the Wii U at that point. It was like, I'm not gonna buy this thing because this other thing's coming on the horizon. So that was another thing that put the coffin. Unfortunately, Pokemon Go just isn't the juggernaut to save it.
Now, I think a interesting question, same kind of thing, but if they made something for the 3DS, then that becomes interesting because at that time that was still giant.
Yeah, that was still doing a lot.
Yeah,
so that could have been something.
That might have been a platform with the stylus and just flip it, dude. Pat, that's $1 billion idea.
Thank you very much. I'm gonna go back in time real quick.
Bobby's like, oh my god, end it.
But guys, that is episode 62. Skyward Sword. The Wii U cannot be saved even by Pokemon, and Smash is out there. So guys, maybe mute that on Twitter if you're looking up some info.
Yeah.
But guys, we will see you in the next episode every Tuesday. You can check us out Google Play, iTunes, and right here on NintenTalk on YouTube. Peace out.
Preston.
Episode 62 of the Planet Nintendo podcast. Let's see what's on the menu. We have PNP.
Wait. No. You got to stop. You got to give him a better break than that. You went you just jumped right into it. You got to you got to give him a better break. He needs time.
Me and Joe are on the same page.
No, you're not. You're giving him zero. Listen, I edit podcasts. You got to give them a little bit more space, just a little bit.
Okay. Joe, begin editing right now.